Guys, I've just realised something awful. 10 years ago, Lady Gaga released Just Dance. 10 years! I feel so old! Hey guys, it's Grace here and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video that's a little bit different. And I'm going to be discussing something very close to my heart. And if you're a millennial, you will relate to this video as well. So my millennials, come and relate with me as we take a trip down memory lane. So I was scrolling through YouTube like you do yesterday, and I found a video that took my interest. I'll leave a link to it in the description, but basically the premise of the video was songs that are turning 10 years old this year. And oh, was I surprised. So many songs that I loved when I was just joining junior school in year 3 are turning 10 years old. 10 years old! I can't believe it. And as a matter of fact, I still have albums from then. Pop Princesses 2009. With Just Dance, The Promise by Girls Aloud. Yeah, Girls Aloud was still a thing. The Saturdays, Pink, Rihanna, Alicia Dixon, Britney Spears, Ting Tings, the Pussycat Dolls, Duffy, Sugar Babes. All of these people were amazing. Like, I feel like that kind of century. I feel like this kind of year was when there was so many really good songs out. And now you listen to some music these days and it's just disappointment. Such a disappointment. Another thing that happened was Miley Cyrus left the light of Disney to go and pursue a music career. And in my hand right now I have her album Breakout, which has lots of rocky kind of songs on it. Yeah, she did not want to do anything like her dad did. And Seven Things, the second song on here, if you've never heard Seven Things, just type it into YouTube, it's a really good song, came out 10 years ago. To put this in perspective for any of you people who are a fan of Queen Bee, Single Ladies and If I Were a Boy by Beyonce came out 10 years ago as well. Yeah, I know. And Kanye West was still kind of a thing. Well, only just. I just can't believe it. It's a bit ridiculous. But also, this brings up some really good stuff I can discuss. So, when I was younger, like for Christmas, I got these two albums. This one and this one. Pop Princesses 2009 and Breakout by Miley Cyrus. I still had an MP3 player. I still do have one somewhere, but I can't remember where I put it. But I had an MP3 player. And another thing that happened in this year, for any of you Disney kids out there who really liked Disney Channel, High School Musical 3 senior year came out in that year. I'm not joking. The year before that was High School Musical 2, and 2 years before that was the original High School Musical. I can't wrap my head around it. It's ridiculous. I can't even right now. I did have the album for High School Musical 3 somewhere, and I did look for it, but I couldn't find it for the life of me. Another thing that was at its height when in about 2008, 2009 was, for me, as a girl who really liked that kind of thing, were Barbie movies. Don't sit there cringing. You know you watched them. Barbie and the Three Musketeers, The Princess and the Pop Star, Swan Lake? Yeah, I think Swan Lake. I didn't do too much research on this, but I know that they all came out around the same time. 12 Dancing Princesses. Barbie movies were the best when I was younger. They were really cool. I loved them. And I had so many Barbie dolls as well. It was kind of ridiculous. Another thing that happened in 2009 was I starred in my first ever amateur but proper show, which was a musical called Pickwick. It's based on the book The based on the book The Pickwickian Papers by Charles Dickens. And this, if I can get close enough, was me in 2009. And another memento I have, if I can just remember, oh yeah, another memento I have from that show, I will find in a minute, is this little rat. Because we played street rats, debtors, the kind of thing where you get, so basically this story is mainly about how people in Victorian times, if they couldn't pay their bills, they would be thrown in jail. And I got given this little rat. Well, it might be a mouse, but they called them rats because we were street rats. And I still have it, and it's really cute. It's like the ones you can find in IKEA, by the way. They're really nice. It's just really overwhelming that, like, 10 years later, so much has changed. Like, music's changed. Everything's changed. I can't believe High School Musical ended like 10 years ago. It's mind-blowing. It really is, especially for a millennial like me. But it just really puts things in perspective. It really does, though. And it makes you feel really old. I know that people will say, you don't have the right to call yourself old, blah, 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 but it really does when you think about how much has changed. Like, Miley Cyrus went through a crazy phase, and now she's calmed back down again. Lady Gaga's still on the scene. Girls Aloud are non-existent. The Saturdays are non-existent. So many stars just disappeared. Alicia Dixon, she now does TV. No one expected that. I certainly didn't expect that. I thought she was going to be in music forever. So now in this part of the video, I'm going to talk about some of my favourite songs from 2008. So I've put together in my head, and using a bit of the internet as well, some of the songs that came out in 2008 that I really like. So the first one has to be Just Dance by Lady Gaga. It was a really good song, and for saying it was her first ever, like, song ever that she released as an artist, it was a really good song. Girls Aloud, The Promise? I think it was The Promise that they brought out then. But even so, Girls Aloud was still a really great band before they all banded off to do their own thing. Cheryl Fernandez Vicini Tweedy Cole. She's had a lot of surnames. And I think she might be Payne soon, because she's going to marry that guy from One Direction. Yeah, I liked 1D, don't judge. Alicia Dixon, The Boy Does Nothing. This one was one of the biggest favourites for me ever. Like, I love this song so much, as well as Mercy by Duffy. All on here. You can find all these songs on Spotify, by the way. Like, this is no spawn, no hashtag ad, nothing at all. It's not sponsored, but you can find this stuff on YouTube, on Spotify, on iTunes. I don't use iTunes. But yeah, you can find all these songs online, and they're really good. There was even, any of you kids who watched CBBC will remember there was Danny's House. That actress, Danny Harmer, the song she sang in Danny's House, she also put on this album as well. And to put it in perspective for some of you who might remember, it's kind of the origins of CBBC. She's the same person who played Tracy Beaker in The Story of Tracy Beaker, based on the book by Jacqueline Wilson, brought out in the 90s. It's really, I'm just really overwhelmed by all of this. There was the Ting Tings. Now, some of you might not know who the Ting Tings are, but you'll know some of their songs, like Shut Up and Let Me Go, That's Not My Name. Britney Spears brought out Womanizer. that one's a big one. The Pussycat Dolls, brought out When I Grow Up. And I found out the other day as well that, as well as finding out about these songs, these are all on like the Just Dance games, which means they're really good, because the Just Dance games are the bomb. Anyway, I hope I've not been rambling for a few minutes and you're like, this is a waste of my time. Well, don't judge, because my final one I'm going to talk about is a song that I've always really, really liked. It's kind of like one that you think about and you go, huh, that's a really good song. And it's Sweet About Me by Gabriella. It's spelt Cilmi, but I think it's pronounced Chill Me. I think it's Chill Me, because otherwise it's Gabriella Kill Me. I think it's Chill Me. But it's a really good song, and there were so many really good songs. There was even Amy Winehouse's Rehab, and we know what happened to her. So now we're going to go into slightly sadder territory, but I'm going to make sure to end the video happily, I promise. So another thing that happened about 10 years ago was, as a child, I experienced death for the first time from death of a family member, and the person who it was my godmother. I'd always spent a lot of time with her. I did have a godfather as well, but it had been mostly both of them together. But one time she took me to go and see Charlotte's Web, if anybody remembers that when it came out in cinemas. I loved that. She took me to see Charlotte's Web, and I think it was about a year later she died of cancer. I didn't understand it at the time because I was only a little kid. I didn't go to the funeral either, but I've been to her grave before, and it really hit me quite hard, especially because of the fact that I knew I was kind of growing up, especially when I was entering junior school, because, well, junior school was like a big step for me. Instead of being in the infants, I was now in the juniors. For those of you, if you're American, if you don't understand the concept, so infant school is from when you're about 4 until you're about 6. Junior school is from when you're about 7 or 8, I think. I think it's from when you're about 8 until you're about 10 or 11, I think. Or sometimes they chunk them all together into a primary school, which is a combination of infant and junior. Anyway, it was a really big step for me. I made new friends. I held on to my old friends as well. And lots of really great things happened. I mean, now, these days, I've been in so many shows, it's ridiculous. I might do a video about 5 years ago. I might have to make it this year though, so it's not an odd number or something. But I will make a video about that soon. But thanks for watching, and I really hope you've enjoyed this tiny little trip down memory lane about music and all the things that happened in 2008-9 kind of time. So I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you all next Friday, peeps.